Hi, this is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. Today, I want to do something a little bit different. Somebody said, well, what is she talking about now? Well, everybody leaves whatever they want to leave. And so I am in the process of writing my book. It's an autobiography, but today I just want to share again something about my life. And I know this may resonate with somebody else. I just want to, memorialize my mother and my father today. Um, this is February. February 2020 was the month that it was my turn to take care of my mama. I got those 2 weeks, take care of my mother. And, we didn't know, as I think I've talked about before, that, she was actually, we knew she was diagnosed with dementia. And that's why I was there to take care of my mom. And I went home to do that gladly. and but this is the month that it's kind of hard for me. Some people grieve differently. Some people, go through their changes differently. And I just want to share with somebody who might want to just hear me talk about how I deal with my mama leaving me, transitioning on, I guess the word would be. I might put my sunglasses on in a few minutes. Anyway, my mother was such a kind soul. When I hear everyone talk about my mom, when I first came to North Carolina, people would look at me and say, "Is Maddie Ruth your mama?" I said, "Yes." "You talk just like her. You look just like your mama." She was just brighter, and she was heavier. But they said, I'm telling you, just talk just like your mama. And I said, "Okay." And they talked to me for a little while longer, and they said, "But you're different." I said, "Oh, yeah." My mother was totally opposite of me, I think, in so many ways. My mom, she just was so quiet spoken, and she was a peacemaker. I'm about peace, but I might do it different than what she would have. And watching my mother, I tried. She asked everybody when we were young, and I remember this. I was probably in the third or fourth grade. My mom asked everybody, what you want to be when you grow up, doing her mother thing. And she asked me, "Jenny, what you want to be when you grow up?" I says, "I want to be a mother with 10 kids just like you, mama." Now, everybody else want to be a doctor, a lawyer, policeman, fireman, nurse. Here I am. I want to be a mom with 10 kids like you. She looked at me and she said, "No, baby, you don't want to do that." I said, "Yes, mama, I do." And I succeeded. I succeeded. I think I exceeded her. I think the last count, I think I got close to 12. And they, not biologically having children, but I'm saying bringing children to my life and raising them and, being a mom. But I admired her as a mother. I admired what she did, who she was. I never, ever see my mother drunk. I never saw her smoke a cigarette. She was not a cusser. She wasn't out there, raising Cain. She was just this sweet woman who enjoyed her children, cooked, cleaned. She was that kind of mama. Very quiet. You couldn't get much out of her now. When she started to talk, you would listen because she doesn't talk much. That was my mother. Now my father, woo wee, totally opposite. They say opposites attract. Ooh wee. My father, he raised Cain. My father was an awesome provider, but that man raised some Cain. I mean, he would put it down. You talking about a cussing man? Ooh, wait, that man! I'll tell you every sentence he had to put it out right. Anyway, I watched them, through life. Some things I didn't even want to remember. Our house was nothing like the Cosby's. It wasn't like any home I saw on TV. Nothing. But I still admire them because, first of all, let's talk about my father. I call him my diddy. Let's talk about my diddy. I could talk about the negative things that he's shown. But I want to talk about nothing but the positive today because he deserves all of that because he raised us, right? And a person cannot give you something they never had. Now, when I was young, I wanted my daddy to, every once in a while, hug me, say, great job, tell me he loves me, things like that. But that was not a part of his persona. It was not in his nature. He says, like fences. He was like, if I'm feeding you, taking care of you, that's love. Every time you go to the dinner table and you can eat, I'm showing you love. So, that's how we had to accept love from him. That was his way of expressing it. Now, he was awesome at our recreation teacher. He taught us how to play football, basketball, softball, let me see, pitch horseshoes, shoot marbles, shoot pool. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, Monopoly, you name every game that was. Cards, he taught us how to play cards, taught us how to cheat real good too. But that's what he did, and he taught me how to be independent. Now, everybody can look at a picture and take something from it. So when I looked at the picture that my daddy was painting and what he showed me and he recorded before me every day, I took what I needed to take from his picture. And so the things that I saw, he was very independent. So I was very independent. I started working when I was 14, and my daddy had a rule. When I started working, he said, this is how we're going to do this. When you get paid, a third of your money goes in the bank, a third of your money comes to me, and a third you get to spend. I'm like, where he getting my money? I'm out here working. But I didn't care. I said, okay. So I put a third in the bank. Every Friday when I got paid, he took to the bank, put a third in the bank. I counted on his money, and I kept a third that I can go spend it with. And back then, I don't care if I made $100, he got the 34. I got 33, and the bank got 33. And that was just the rule. You didn't question it, you just did it. But what he didn't realize he was doing, for 2 years, I was working at night and going to school still during the day, and an honor student, okay? But he was teaching me how to take care of myself. If I could do this at 14, 15, by the time I got 16 years old, my daddy also had another rule he had in his house. His rule was, the day you can't follow my rules, it's time for you to hat up. That was his words. Hat up. That means, pick up your bags and get up out of there. So when I turned 16, I was hatting up. I got my pocketbook, my coat, and I started walking. My mama said, Jenny, where you going? I said, I'm gone, mama. I'm ready to go on my own now, And I said, tell Daddy I'm gone because I got my hat. And she was looking at me because she already told me when by the time I was 14, about 13 or 14, she remember, she looked at me and she just shook her head. She said, you're just too old for yourself. She said, you think like a grown woman. She said, you're just too old. And she probably don't know what she was saying, but I know what she was saying. I was just an ancient soul. You know how they say some people been here before? I was one of those people who've been here so many times. I was quick on the draw. I had all kinds of guys guiding me. And you say something to me, I was quick. Because I heard it before. I seen it before. So I'm ready. So anyway, my mama, she told my daddy, he came down the road, to get me to come back home. I said I wasn't coming back, he's going to try to make me get in the car. And I told him I wasn't going. We had a little fiasco out there that day. I won. And I said, go on home, call the police, what you need to do, because I ain't coming back, because I'm done. That was my life. I was a serious rebel. Oh, gosh, I was a rebel. Y'all just keep praying for me. But now let me talk about my mama, my mother. Oh, goodness gracious. When I went home to take care of my mama, she had just came to stay with me in September. So I kept her the whole month of September. I kept her with me. And I tell you, that woman would not leave me alone. Every time she saw me walk by, Jenny, I told my sister, I think she making a song. Jenny, Jenny. I was like, Lord have mercy. She don't want none. She just got to call me. If you're going in the kitchen, take this. If you're going in, I said, Lord have mercy. This woman is calling me. And I would go outside and sit outside because my mama don't like going outside. So I would go out and sit outside in my swing and just kind of bask and get me some relief from that name being called all day. I'll be outside. They say, I hear that little roller coming down there. Here come my mama. She come outside. Oh, it's nice out here. And she would sit outside. And I took pictures. I said, y'all can't believe this. My mama found me. And I take pictures. And I said, look. And they were like, we can't believe it because mama didn't go outside. But because that's where I was, she started coming outside every day. And then she did a video for me. And it's a video that I keep because the thing she said in that video, it keeps her memory alive every day. But back to my February month I was taking care of my mama and did not know, within days, my mama went from eating breakfast to not having an appetite. And then, by the time, things happened, she was gone. It's like within 2 weeks' time, my mom was gone. And people say, my girlfriend said to me one day, she says, her mother been gone like 30 years. But every year around Mother's Day, she still cried for her mama. I said, 30 years? She says, I still miss my mama. I said, wow. Now, this is before my mama ever transitioned, right? I couldn't understand it. I'm like, after a while, so like, time would heal that void or whatever, right? Until it happens to you, you cannot imagine what it's like until it happens to you. I tell people that, it's hard for a person to even sympathize with somebody if they never experienced it. If you've never known what it's like to be homeless, you can't feel for somebody who's homeless. If you've never known what it's like to be abused, you can't feel for somebody who's been abused. It's hard to put yourself in somebody's shoes that you never had to be in their shoes before. Somebody told me one time about when I was struggling, with my children, trying, make ends meet. And somebody told me something like, you just gotta trust, you just gotta trust God, yada, yada, boom, boom, Well, that was easy for them to tell me that. They were in the military, and the military was taking care of them. The military paid for their, while they lived on the base, they took care of this, so they didn't know what a struggle was. And I said, okay, maybe my lack of faith, okay, let me work on that, right? But then one day, he retired. And when he retired, his family then saw the hardships of what it was, like us, civilians, was going through. That it wasn't as easy as you said it was. And your faith had nothing to do with this. It's just a part of life. You juggling, you even as a middle class, you still have to juggle to try to keep things going, So sometimes in life, it's hard for you to even receive from somebody who has not lost what you lost to understand your loss. I sing. I love singing. That's my world, singing. But a lot of my people who I sing with, they know I take breaks. I take breaks because I need time sometimes to sit back and relax and do me, without feeling like I got to be in that limelight doing things, right? I need some time. And today I just want to take out some time, not so much to whine, but to give attention, love, and respect, to people who have blessed me in life. My mother blessed me. Her sweet voice blessed me. And I miss her. I miss her so much, especially now. Because, when I have things happening in my life, I like to know mama can say, it's supposed to be cold this week. That's all she got to say. It's going to be cold this week. And her voice just mellows me out and tells me, you're going to be okay. you know. I hear people talk about, I lost somebody, yada yada, and that's and they're fine. I said, to each their own. To each their own. I don't knock people who can bounce back. I don't knock them. I kind of admire them for that. But I couldn't bounce back. I don't bounce easy on that. And I'm telling you now, I'm a tough cookie. I'm one of them tough chicks. I mean, but when it comes to missing my mama every day, and like I said, certain times a year, I'm fine. I had a good friend when I lost my mother. I had a good friend. I call him King. King was there for me, every day. He called and check on me. You all right? You all right? You okay today? I said, I'm having a good day today. Some days was good. Some days I'll be in that tub, bubbles everywhere, and crying my eyes out because I miss my mama. And I could call and say, look, hey, I'm having a bad day. Okay, let's talk about it. And I could talk about it. I wasn't told, well, you're going to be all right. She's in a better place. I didn't get none of that because I didn't want it. I didn't want anything. I wanted to be able to share my time with my mama about my mother. Because she was my mama. As much as she knew that she didn't have to baby me, she still was my mama. She was the one who could soothe me. Because it takes a lot to soothe me. It takes a lot to quieten me down and get me to calm down and say, shh, baby, shh, because my auntie, she got to a place, she said when the time came for her to choose a POA, power of attorney of her life, when she knew she had dementia, she said, I want Jenny. She said, because I know if I choose her, she gonna make sure everything be straight. She ain't gonna take no bull. I said, that's who I am. So this is a time for me, and I'm sharing this. I'm being transparent because it may be some of you who may be having difficult days. It don't have to be February. It could be any time that you're missing somebody, your parents, your children, a loved one, whoever it may be. When you are missing them, your feelings are valid. They are real. And you have a right to let it go however you have to. Now, you say, well, she chooses to go out there and be public. And I'm not one to really tell people about my personal life. It took a long time for me. People ask me, when your birthday? I wouldn't tell them. Because I'm a very private person. Except for now. Because it wasn't a time for me to be private. This is not for everybody. Somebody, I don't care about that. Okay, it's not for you. I'm not for everybody. And it's cool. But somebody may be trying to adjust their feelings. They're trying to adjust, their life. They're trying to deal with some hardships, some losses. And for that, I want you to know, I understand. I know, I understand. I feels that. I got people who will contact me and tell me they just lost somebody. And pray for me. So I have to pray for them while I'm also dealing with my losses. It's that time of year. And I choose to share my heart in hopes that I'm blessing somebody else and letting you know you okay. And it's all right. If it's been 6 years, 6 days, 25 years, that you have lost somebody that you love, and you still trying to balance yourself out and deal with that loss, you okay. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You have a right to miss somebody you love. You have a right to feel whatever it is you feel for someone who you spent time with. I gave that woman 60 years of my life. 60 years she was there. Then one day she, boo. So I'm adjusting. And hey, 5 years from now, I'll probably still be on here talking about, yeah, it's February again, And March the 14th, It's a more difficult day because that's the day she transitioned out, you know. So I'm going into the transitioning. I haven't came out of it yet, but I'm learning how to hold both my feet on the floor while I'm going through my throughs. But I just move away from people because I don't try, to lay stuff on nobody. I just say this is my time that I want to spend with my mama because I need my mama to know I miss her and I love her. So to you, mama, because I know you're listening, and you're probably saying, Jenny, now, good and well, you ain't got no business out there. I love you, mama. I miss you. And I'm going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. Love you. Thank you so much for allowing me to sit into your place, hopefully in your heart, and let me share a little bit of me. You be blessed, and please pray for me, because I'll be back with a whole lot of giggles later on. Just ain't giggling right now, but the day ain't over with. Be blessed. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. Hope you have enjoyed. And most importantly, I hope this has touched your life, wherever you are, whatever you're going through, to know every day is a good day to show somebody that you love them. Much love to you. Blessings. Light out.